How you living? We're here introducing Zach Dotson, number 26 from Team Smoke, and he got fourth place at the Fort Worth Regional in Texas. Let's go over your deck profile.
Put your hands into the water.
I played Branded Draco Tail, almost the bread and butter build of it that you've seen everyone play. Slightly different changes to it from what you usually see. Let's get started. The usual triple 5 mana, triple Lucius. I played 2 copies of Draco Tail Urgula. You've been seeing some of the more pro players play 3 copies of this. I do not like that. Spoiler alert, I'm on 1 Cartesia, so playing a 3rd copy of Urgula I didn't think was good. But we still had to play for the dragon, so I did play 2 copies of Pan. I like seeing these 50-50. Felt a lot better for me. To finish off Draco Tail names, 1 Malulu, 1 Frixel. Just Malulu's needed. Just another way to fuse. Frixel, really good sound up Branded Fusion. Usual. For spells, triple Rahu, 1 Ketsu. I opened Ketsu quite a lot today, which is really nice. And then 3 traps, the usual. For the branded package, 2 Fallen of the White, 1 regular Albaz. Regular Albaz is needed to give your branded board like something, because otherwise it's like getting the Fallen into Virtuous and like giving you an extra fusion summon. Running this card not only respects Fulos, but also increases your end board, because you can summon this off Renbrum, summon this off Sanctifier. If you get Fuad on Fallen the White Dragon, you just end with Ecclesia on your board, and you do this on your opponent's turn. Because, like, if you're staring down like a Ripper, even normal summoning this, just getting to this card makes the Ripper very trivial. Then, also included in the branded package, we have 1 Ecclesia required, 1 Cartesia. Some people play 2. I don't like 2 of that card. I just need the 1 of. I like more non-engine. And then 2 copies of Branded Fusion. I did not see this card as much today as I saw Fallen the White Dragon. When I saw Branded Fusion, it was really nice. And then 2 copies of Fallen the Virtuous. This card went crazy. I think it was only one time my Arthalion got hit by Valor and Perm. It was only one time where I didn't see Fallen the Virtuous to dodge, and I ended up losing that game. But whenever I saw Fallen the Virtuous, it popped off.
Would you consider playing 3 in the future, or is 2 good enough?
2 is good enough. It's searchable. It's searchable off the Fallen the White Dragon. I prefer more. I prefer having a little bit more non-engine. So 2 copies, very much good enough. You don't need a 3rd one.
Okay.
Just drawing it off Charmies and stuff. All right. Non-engine, 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Fua. I was doing 3 Perulian main, but with the more Omni, Slop, Azamina, D-Mod stuff, I ran the 2 Drolls in main. I did not see Droll Mockbird a lot. I didn't see it a lot, but I was also able to play through the boards because of one of the best changes to the deck, triple Droplet in main. Because if you don't see Droll, you need Droplet to push through the Omni turbos. And also, even in the mirror, you just dodge the negates on your back rows, like dodge the flame and stuff. Droplet has been very, very strong in this build. And then last card, I just needed a good one of, and so I picked Magnemite. Searches Fallen the White Dragon, searches Malulu. And I was siding it, but when I took the Perulias out, I needed one more card for the main deck, and Magnemite just kind of fit the bill. And it did its job very well. Moving on to the extra deck. So our Draco Tail cards, we have 2 Arthalion, 1 Gulamel, and 1 Shawless. This has pretty much become the standard. You can still run through Arthalion, but I wanted more flex in my extra deck. And you can recycle the Arthalions with the Shawless. You can recycle it with the Ecclesia Synchro. recycle it with Arthalion if you really need to. But you don't really need more than three. Three is safe, but I just needed the extra space. Shawless is my goat. This card has won. This card actually won me the last game. Because essentially, if you make Gulamel is not always live. Like if you're just trying to break a board, because it has to chain to something, and your opponent has to chain block the Gulamel pretty much. But you make Shawless, that is an immediate threat because as soon as open game state happens, this is going to out something. You have to immediately deal with it instead of being able to just like chain a random effect to stop the Gulamel. So plus Shawless puts your spell traps back, which I did run out of spell traps once, but I was able to make Shawless and put them back to make my effects live to push for lethal. This card, Shawless, is a requirement. So that's the Dracotail extra deck stuff. Branded. One Ecclesia, one Albion. I know some people play two, but I wanted the flex, and you can recycle this with Ecclesia, so it was fine. One Lubellion. I have Lubellion to be able to send Malulu off Branded Fusion, mainly into Ripper, because you go chain one Malulu, chain two Lubellion, you stop the Ripper that way, and then you make like a Mirror Jade or a Chaos Star Source. Because Malulu will just negate the Ripper. Just being able to have a good Branded Fusion target into that is nice. And then Mirror Jade, broken. Abelonatus. I did not get a mirror match, but sending this off Fallen the Virtuous, search Branded Fusion for follow-up is great. One Sanctifier. I know some people have been cutting Sanctifier, but I still really like the card. Great against evenly matched, and it's the best card to make off Branded Fusion going first, because you send that Albaz into Frixel. You can send either Albaz and then either send the regular Albaz to summon off the Sanctifier, or you can summon just any of your engine pieces to get on your opponent's turn, give them something useless to fuse off later if you do have a way to get your other Albaz online. Sanctifier, I love this card, it's great. Renbrum is kind of the newest edition, with Yummy coming back and Radiant Typhoon. This is also just a really good send-off all into Virtuous because it gives you another way to summon Albaz on the opponent's turn. And also this deals with Lupus, funny enough, which is hilarious. Next up, Dragon that Devours Dogma, a way to make Albaz take out two monsters. This came up in the final game where my opponent ended on a weird half board with Lupus and Madlove with a Borger in hand. And I normal summoned the regular Albaz. He didn't chain, and he just didn't expect me to fuse both his interactions off into Dogma and then activate Rahu for game. Dogma's awesome. I love this card. Then 3 extra flex spots. 2 of them are mandatory. Secretarian and Chaos Star Source. I'm only on 1 Secretarian because it's recyclable and it's engine. Chaos Star Source. This card's amazing. Just being able to pop stuff, make it off Lubellion, make it off Albion if you really need to, make it off of Ketsu even, and Flymina. Cards just more disruption, more destruction. Gotta love removal because removal is really strong right now. And then final card, I was on Titaniclad with a Kaiju inside, but I decided to not respect Lunalight, so I played SP. It came up I think it came up once today, but just having my extra deck felt nice.
I bet you a lot of people were not expecting the SP Little Knight. Like, that's a mandatory card if you can't get any proper removal for the back row.
It is good for removal in the back row. Whenever I could have made it, I felt I really needed to just go for lethal instead. I should have honestly made it against it was against Fiendsmith Yummy. I should have made it against Fiendsmith Yummy, but I didn't. I needed lethal, so I activated Rahu and I got Judgment. Otherwise, would have SP banished the Judgment. Move on to the side deck. Triple Perulia, mainly for Radiant Typhoon Yummy. Pairing this with Fulos is also really good in just any matchup. Triple Nibiru, I don't think I ever resolved this card, but I wanted more cards to deal with the Yummy matchup. One Duster. I opened this card once, and it was a discard for Fallen of Albaz because his only back row was Case. One called by. I had this for Fulos. I had this once, and I used it on Fulos. Worked pretty good. The craziest card on the side. Triple Mistaken Arrest. I got shout out my boy Sender for giving these to me at the venue. Mistaken Arrest. There's only one game I lost when I had it. It was my round 1 against Killer Tune, and I bricked and they opened all engines. So even with Mistaken Arrest, I was not winning. Triple Imperm went really well against Lunalight and VS Canine. And then final last card, Judgment. I never solved this card, but it's just something to stop like the Trift style breaker decks. Just negate a breaker because I don't want my back row dying to like a random dust or a lightning storm.
And is there any shout outs you would like to make?
Yes. Shout out my boy Grant, the guy I lost to in round 1. He did he beat me and he beat the guy who got first place. So which is kind of funny, but he topped the event. Good for him. Shout out Sender for the Mistaken Arrest, and shout out Luke for some of the deck advice, like cutting the Titaniclad. That was definitely worth it. Shout out the UTA Card Game Club, and shout out Michael Campos for just being the GOAT, helping me learn the game better, get better at the game. Always shout out Team Smoke.
Hey, let's check out that deck box before we close up.
Of course. New deck box, and inside the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Clean as hell.
That's actually pretty clean.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Zach, thank you
Feels
for the
good.
deck profile. And I will catch you later. For those haven't, go ahead and I will tag Zach down below. Go ahead and like, subscribe, etc. Now during the standby phase, Shift makes a splash. Thank you all for stopping by. Johnny.